The half-moon arose above the buildings, its curve like the blade of a dagger polished by time. I walked the empty streets as if it through a page already written. Each step cracked on the cobblestones, not only sound but weight, the press of my body against the earth. I felt my breath shorten in the cold air, the jacket pulling closer to my chest. The duelo milonga waited once a half for fencing, still faithful to its origin, a place where pride confronts pride, and the dance is never far from the duel. In my pocket only enough for the entrance, a few bills, thin and worn, like leaves that might scatter in the wind. And I wonder, was walking towards the milonga or leaving it behind? For the milonga is eternal. One never truly enters and one never truly leaves. And I remember the old tanguero who whispered the milonga is always a place of duels and transformations. You enter, but you do not leave the same, if you leave at all. I pass by the steam clock, its breath rising like a ghost into the cold night. The hands turn, yet in the milonga time does not move forward. It circles, it returns, like a story told again and again, where each embrace is both memory and fate. I saw the entrance of the Tango Hall, where a line had already formed, proof of the duelos milonga fame. Tangueros waited ahead of me, boys low, their shoes dangling like talismans. They saw me, not all pleased. And then I saw her, the woman in the white dress, an exquisite dancer with whom I had once shared tandas, where our steps spoke more than words ever could. I thought they approached me as possessed, but it was my imagination. Nothing is certain in the milonga, and it can take away our sanity. And then I felt his gaze, el toro con el reloj. He stood with the stillness of a monument, broad-shouldered, disciplined, as if his body obeyed an order that the rest of us could never hear. On his wrist, a watch gleamed, not a measure of time, but of privilege. He moved like with calm certainty of those who believed the world was built for them, and when his eyes fixed on mine, my head spun, not from fear, but from the weight of being seen by a man who carried himself like fate itself. When I entered the milonga, the smoke drifted like forgotten stories, and the weapons on the wall were not ornaments, but echoes of ancient duels waiting to be repeated. The air trembled with silent connections, dancers bound by music, yet also by pride, by jealousy, by destinies older than themselves. Each embrace was a mirror reflecting both desire and danger. Ironically, in this enchanted milonga, some dance alone, their steps chasing ghosts. Perhaps the world outside waited on their thoughts, and the floor revealed not joy, but solitude, a silent choreography of absence. An old tanguero sat beside me, his face scarred by smoke and years. His eyes clouded yet seemed further than mine. Without turning he whispered, "Careful! Jealousy here sharpens faster than knives. Forgetfulness keeps the milonga alive. A man loses a woman tonight, and tomorrow returns as if nothing has happened. Tango has only two themes, love that ends and pride that kills." Then I saw El Toro con el Reloj with the woman in white. They moved together as if bound, not by music, but by some older pact. The people judged them in silence, lovers, yes, but uneasy ones. Their embrace more contract than caress, and I wonder why they remained together. Perhaps it was pride, perhaps only habit, and perhaps I wished to be with her, not for the sake of being with her, but for only for the dance. Then his eyes met mine, a silent decree. Do not dare to dance with her. It was clear. Then El Toro con el Reloj took another woman in his arms. The followers received him easily, his popularity unquestioned, as his presence alone were enough. It perplexed me. Perhaps he was freer than I, or perhaps in this world prestige weighs more than freedom. The woman in the white dress gave me a mirada. I turned away, but she insisted, her gaze holding me, like a thread pulled across the floor. In that silence I felt the question, was my life worth a tanda? Could a single dance tip the balance between desire and destiny? To dance with her was to dissolve into something beyond myself, or steps no longer belonged to two bodies, but to a single movement, as if we floated above the floor or returned to some origin, like currents stirring into the depths of the sea. Each pause became vast, each embrace a universe remade. I felt myself vanish and expand at once, an instant of infinity hidden in the music. It was a truth El Toro con el Reloj will never know. His dance was weight, calculation, the discipline of possession. Ours was flight, a surrender that became freedom. Toro con el Reloj grew furious. He turned the woman in his arms into a weapon, his boleos high, his piernas striking with rage. I evaded step by step, guiding my partners through narrow escapes, each movement a defiance. At last I gave in to the duel. With a well-timed molinete I set the arc of her heel to rush like a blade into his Achilles' feet. He staggered, rage breaking through his face, as pain betrayed the bull in him. Toro con el Reloj seized me, trembling with fury, ready to strike, but like the matador who fears his own mirror, he could not. For in that instant I saw the paradox. The freer man was not the bull with the wealth and pride, but the one with nothing to lose. His silence became his defeat, and mine a victory without blood. Then he stepped back, retreating into silence, and I remembered Borges and Cortázar, and that they were right. The Minotaur is not the monster who kills, but the one forever chained within the labyrinths. I left the hall, the night air colder, the cobblestones echoing as if repeating steps already taken. It seemed I had not left at all, but returned to another circle of the same night. Perhaps every milonga is eternal, a mirror where pride and desire devour themselves endlessly. And I remember Sabato, that our battles never end with triumph, but with the solitude of those condemned to live them again, in silence and in memory.